the insightful and engaging Chris Dyer.
I'm so excited to be here today because we're talking about something new. The world has been going through all sorts of change. There's been all sorts of new things that are coming at us, and we have to think about our leadership, and we have to think about our lives in very different ways. Every one of you who's in this room, because of some trajectory in your career or in your life, a real moment, a specific moment that changed your path to get you here. And I don't think that we spend enough time pondering that and realizing what a huge impact a moment can have on us. Not a deal and it's not a promotion. It's like when someone believed in us, gave us that first job, when we believed in somebody else and they helped us grow our business, or maybe they showed up for us. Those are the ways that we connect the dots. It is moments that will help you actually achieve your crazy goals. All of that together comes into specific moments. Has anyone ever told you not to sweat the small stuff? Yeah? Except they don't keep going. Do you know what the second sentence is? You better show up big for the big stuff. Right? Yeah, don't sweat the small stuff, but you better get on your big boy and your big girl pants and show up for the big stuff. Or else you're just sitting on the couch not taking the easy stuff too hard, right? So I thought, where can we start today that's going to be important? And I ended up with December 16th, 1989. Was anyone here not alive on that day? There might be a few of you. Back in the 80s, things were a little different. I had just left private school. I was in a little school. It was easy to have friends. It was easy to navigate. I was king of the hill. It was great. And then my parents decided maybe having 3 kids in expensive private school was not a good idea, and they put us in public school. And suddenly here I am in this giant school, and it feels like someone has dropped me in the ocean. I have no friends. I don't know how to navigate it. All the kids in the school have their little cliques, and they've been together for forever, and I'm just some kid trying to figure it out. And then they announced there was going to be a talent show. And I thought, yes, this is my chance to make some new friends. I'll sign up for the talent show. So I go to the first meeting, and the teacher says, Chris, what's your talent? Uh-oh. My attempts at trumpet in 4th grade did not go so good, probably because I didn't practice. And so I said, I don't know. And she said, why don't you lip sync? Now, in the 80s, lip syncing was it. Okay? We all lip synced all the time. In fact, there was a TV show called Putting on the Hits, where grown adults would go and do their worst Michael Jackson and lip sync Billie Jean or whatever it was. I mean, it was great. Dick Clark produced this show. It was a huge hit. And it was such a huge hit that they had a kids version called Putting on the Kids. Now, I went to that talent show, and I did this little rendition of Starships, We Built This City. I did not win. Probably made a few friends. Something kind of worked out. But the teacher said, hey, Chris, my son is one of the producers for this little show. Would you like to go and get an audition? I can pull a few strings. So me and 5 or 6 of the other kids who lip synced in that talent show got to go up to Hollywood. I lived in Orange County. My poor parents schlepped me up and back 5 times, 5 different auditions. And I sat in these dark little rooms in hallways with hundreds of other kids, and all I did was get up and give that same crappy lip-syncing performance that did not win me the talent show. Thankfully, my mom started adding a little bit of extra artistic flair, a little dip here and a started adding in a little bit of some props and things. And I kept getting asked back. I don't know how. And after the 5th time, we got the phone call that said, "You're going to be on TV." Would anyone like to see a little clip of that? Okay. This is me in 5th grade, 1989.
Back to more Putting on the Kids.
Welcome back to Putting on the Kids. We're about to meet an 11-year-old who already knows that some cities are built on rock and roll, and he's got the key to the city. Here he is, Chris Dyer.
We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll.
Thank you. I think that's more applause than I got on the day of. You would think this would be a moment for me. You would think if I listed like the coolest things that I ever did or important moments in my life, I would list this moment. I don't. I can recall it because my mom kept the video, the old VHS tape. That's how I got this. I can recall it. We talk about it sometimes, but it is not a moment for me. It's just something I went and did. I kind of felt like a passenger on a train, like I showed up and I did the thing and then I left, and it didn't make an impact on who I am. I was on TV wearing a construction helmet, holding a saw and a screwdriver, pretending to play guitar. You would think I would remember this, but I don't. It did not shape my life in any way. I guess you could argue I'm on a stage today, maybe a little bit, but I don't remember it. What I remember was my Uncle Lee. Now, I heard showing your kid photos is a big thing for this conference, so here you go. There's me, Uncle Lee, taking me to the Black Stallion, which was a really big movie in the 80s. Here we are, hanging out at his house. He lived in Ojai. Ojai's this little, used to be a place where you went to be away from people. It is now filled with spas and hippie retreats. He'd be rolling in his grave now to know that. But we used to go horseback riding. There I am riding the horse that 5 minutes later I fell off of and broke my left arm in 3 places. When I got to the TV show, we had to go into the green room. And there he was. Everyone told me he could not be there. He was my favorite uncle, and everyone said he really wants to be there, but he can't. And the reason he can't is because he has terminal lung cancer. He doesn't have much time left. And coming to a green room filled with a bunch of kids is probably not the best idea. But I walk into that green room, and there he is. And we just sat and talked about uncle stuff, right? The horses, how I was doing in soccer, all the regular stuff that you would think about. And 40 years later, that's what I remember. Because he showed up. He took my mind off of the whole thing. I didn't even think about going on TV. Suddenly I left talking to him about horses and soccer, and I was on TV, and then I wasn't on TV, and that was a 3-minute part of my life. I spent hours with him. They aired this the next week. He got to see it. He called me. We talked. That was the last time I talked to him. That was the last time I saw him. And then he passed away. Through a lot of therapy, I realized that the reason I show up for people a little bit too big and a little too much sometimes is because he showed up for me in that special moment.
Chris Dyer just made my life explode because there were so many things that I learned today that I could not only use for business, but my personal life and my personal development. So I'm truly excited, and I'm gonna use my yellow card and get in contact with him because I need some help in some areas, and I wanna make sure I'm shaping the moments of my life and making great decisions.